Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I hope everyone's doing great. Let me see if I can move. If this makes any sense. Okay. I'm between Carlos and Tyson instead of covering. Okay, there we are. Everyone, I hope everyone has enjoyed their Monday. And it hasn't been too much here. It's raining, so it's kind of dreary day, but I didn't have a lot to do, so I appreciate it. Thanks so much. My subscriber, Linnell Styler, came in to say hello. Anyone that is in the bushes, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Team Replay, you know I appreciate you. Thank you for being here as well. So this is actually King's Court. King's Court is getting good. There's a few things going on with King's Court. We see a change in our friend Tyson, which we have called out Tyson for kind of playing with these ladies a little bit. But I'm seeing a different side of Thaddeus as well. Or Titus, as he was known in the WWE. So, of course, we have our host, Holly Robinson Pete, and her husband, Rodney. And last week, we met 4 new ladies that came in. This week, they have put a twist. They start out, of course, at the elimination dinner where they ended last week. But we had a separate conversation where Dr. Shawna and Titus, or Thaddeus, got off to themselves, and he was trying to find out where her head was at. He says he feels like there is a change in her confidence level or a lack of confidence, which I didn't agree with. Dr. Shawna defended herself and says it's not that there's a change in the confidence or a lack of confidence. When Ariel came in and you expressed interest, I decided to back up and allow you to develop, to see where this new relationship is going. Thaddeus said that he could understand that, but if she were interested in someone else, and we did see her, she got invited out for a date with Carlos. So he said that if she were exploring other interests, he would respect that, but he would also still let her know that whatever we have together, we still have together. And I've decided, I've been watching back some of my reviews. The internet, I think that is the thing as far as the speed of it. But I find that when I'm sharing things, my voice starts to crack and it's not great reception. So I'm going to try something where I'm not going to show any videos or anything like that while I'm doing this. Now, if I decide to, then I'll go off. Turn the camera off. I'll go off screen, and then that will be the only thing I'm doing. And I'll see if that helps anything, because I am trying to improve the quality. I appreciate my subscribers, people that come in to visit. If you're here in the bushes, just click the like button. I thank you all so much. So we have Thaddeus and Dr. Shawna are having that talk. Then we go back to the elimination. Remember at the elimination, we had Catherine, who was the new 50-year-old woman that came in last week. She actually had connection with Tyson and also Carlos. She talked to Thaddeus a little bit. I didn't see a real connection there, but she ended up at the elimination dinner. So we have, as well as Dr. Shawna, Catherine, we have Liliana for her second elimination dinner. Remember, Liliana is part of the crew that Tyson brought in and pretended, I'm not going to say pretended, maybe he did have these feelings, but he and Bukel and she were part of a throuple where he was trying to kind of phrase it as if they were also close because they shared this jumping out of a plane experience together, which bonded them. But as soon as new ladies come in the house, Tyson starts to turn his attention toward the new ladies, which I can understand because they are there to do that. But I don't see a reason to lose connection with the original queens that were there. So that is interesting, the way that he does that, just the way the different men handle themselves. Carlos, as soon as he came in, he locked in on Janay, and I think that he really hasn't expressed a lot of interest in anyone else. We're going to see a change in that this week. And also the twist that Holly Robinson Pete is going to give, there's going to be a change as to how the ladies come in, how the men date them, and everything, which was a very interesting twist, I found. But with no further ado, we get Tyson, who is saying to Liliana, he's telling the Petes and the other kings that, well, I'll start with who went first. Thaddeus went first. He said that he had been locked in with Dr. Shawna. After the other lady showed up, he sees a change in her confidence level. So he's reiterating that, even though she has told him that's not what it is. And I didn't see that either. I don't see a change in her confidence. But he's saying that he did. And his interest has changed. He is bonding with other ladies. but she thinks she's wonderful. But for that, she is no longer their queen. She gives her pageant answer. Thank you. I know you will find love. There are a lot of wonderful ladies to choose from. And I love the way she left, very classy. So she sat there. She has been dismissed. She's no longer the queen. The next to come up, Tyson is speaking. He's saying that he had such a strong bond with Liliana. She's one of the people that he bonded with first and initially. But as the new ladies come in, and also he's seeing some insecurity in her. He's saying because his job makes him travel all over the world, he's going to be flirted with different women and men all over the world. And he doesn't know that she's strong enough to be able to put up with that. And for that reason, she's no longer the queen. And for that reason, you are no longer our queen. That should be the end of it. But Holly is funny. She said, Liliana, do you agree with Tyson? She said, I don't agree with Tyson. Now, he's already said you're no longer the queen, but she's going to get her point across. And I like that she did that. She said, I don't agree with Tyson. She said, I don't have a problem with him actually meeting other ladies and bonding with people for this experience, but I don't feel like he is here to find love. I don't think that he's serious about it. And I don't feel that he's ready. And when she said she didn't feel like he's ready, Tyson got activated and he said, and for that, I feel like you are no longer our queen. He's trying to say it again. She heard the tagline, Tyson. She just didn't agree with you. So Carlos tries to joke. He ends up saying, Catherine, we've all made slight connections. We want to get to know you more. And for that reason, you'll be staying in the house. He was trying to make it as if she was getting sent home, but she's not. So the two ladies, Dr. Shawna and Liliana, strong contestants, left. They walked out. They were fine with it. I don't blame them. So I find it interesting that Tyson has sent the two strongest connections that he had home. He said that they will forever be bonded. They had jumped out of that plane with him and all this kind of stuff. And he showed both of them the exit. Well, he didn't show Brookel the exit. Brookel showed herself the exit. She left. So that was really interesting. So we move on from there. Holly Robinson Pete tells us that the change is going to be in how they get women coming in. They have introduced someone who is able to find perfect matches for people. They bring all the ladies in. The kings are there as well. So they're going to let this professional matchmaker, bring in people. And the question that I wanted to know, Thaddeus asked, he raised his hand and said, what is your success rate? Her success rate is 86%, everybody. So 86%. So the way they're going to do that is that they have 18 women that they introduced. Remember at the beginning, they were saying they were going to do 21 women. So they were just bringing them in waves. This time, they're not going to bring them in a wave. The matchmaker, professional matchmaker, is going to bring 3 women in. And Holly Robinson Pete lets us know that the kings they're going to have dinner with the ladies. They're going to mingle with all the ladies. The ladies will mingle with the kings separately. They don't have to be with everybody while they're doing that. But they have to choose which match is the match for them. If they're able to choose that lady as the match for them, that woman is safe. She's not at risk of being sent home. So that I did like that. I like the fact that they did that. So I forgot, there was a scene while they were at the elimination dinner. Tyson is saying that it's hard to send people home, but kind of like clearing out all those ladies, it's a little hard for him to have all these ladies that are vying for his attention. And he feels like he needs to give everybody his attention. And then now with 3 more coming in, that's so difficult for him. And he's going to have some kind of organization behind that. And Thaddeus made a joke like he's growing up right in front of our eyes. And then we get confessional Carlos saying that Tyson has been the face of male modeling for the last couple of decades, which is true. That is true. Name another big name male model quick. You can't do it. You just can't do it. So it's been Tyson Beckford since the early 90s or however long. It's just been him. And that's it. And he put it on the map, started them getting paid, the whole 9. Because before that, I remember they were just accessories to the women. We could name the top 3, 4, maybe even 5 women, but there was but one, and it is him. So Carlos is saying that Tyson is used to being chased. And I think that's true too. He had a conversation with Liliana, even at the elimination dinner, when she would try to tell him her feelings, he would get very upset, uneasy. He don't want to talk about it. Last week, he joked with the producer about ghosting. He said that's a legitimate way out of a relationship for him. So he ghosts. We go back to the house. The other ladies, Felicia is one of the ladies that is very interested in Tyson. She's the type of go get your man type woman. And she's speaking with Ariel, who is that same type. Ariel has her eyes on Thaddeus. She's the mother of an autistic son with the big curly hair, and they have a really strong connection. She felt that she was in real competition with Dr. Shawna. I didn't think that she was. I think Dr. Shawna was secure and confident and did step back and allow this lady to shine. But there's a competitiveness that is going to turn into cattiness that I think we'll see Thaddeus start to pick up on. I don't think that he's going to like that at all. We see Kat and Janay meeting. Kat is 44-year-old white woman. She's interested in Tyson, but she's having a hard time. She sits with, pulls him aside and says, I'm crying every night. I'm sad every night because I'm just not getting the time. So she's kind of having that conversation that Lexi had with Carlos before she walked out. So you just have to get in where you fit in. I don't know why these women expect these men to carve out the time, but Tyson decides that he's going to take matters into his own hand. Y'all, why does this man have a whole list that he puts kind of like a spreadsheet? He is put on the refrigerator. He has sign-up times, and he wants the ladies to sign up for a time. The different ladies are joking about it. Sarah is the one that said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not interested in doing that. Some of the women are seeing it as them being objectified. But what I found interesting is he said, I got you as my closer. I'm going to put you on here at 1 a.m. The nerve. And he put her name right up there at 1 a.m. And guess what? That was her time slot. So, yeah, he gave the ladies time slots. They were running up there, signing the sheet and everything. So some of the ladies found it funny. Some of them did not. But this worked for him, and he did it. Janay is starting to get a little more upset when the ladies find out that there's going to be a professional matchmaker setting up the 3 last queens that will come in with the kings. They get really upset. So I find that really interesting. Said Titus and Janay stood up talking. You know, I feel like Janay is like his wife for the house. When he comes in, they sit down and Netflix and chill. I wish that she had opened herself up to meeting more people because she is especially bothered by him having the new queens come in. Kat tells Tyson that her last relationship was 4 years ago and it ended because the person decided that he wanted to be outside. He wanted to be out in the street and dealing with others. So the ladies it's kind of like a sorority house now, y'all. As the new ladies come in, there's a different energy. Some of them are friendly competition. Some of them are being a little more catty. All of them are flirting with all of the men, and they're just having a good time. So Thaddeus come walking his big self out there to go to the table to get some fruit. Y'all, why is he shirtless? He come out there topless. And Brianna's just looking at him. And Thaddeus is a good-looking man. So she's looking at him. And the other ladies are looking. Ariel is teasing Brianna because Brianna is kind of her competition. And then there was a scene where Thaddeus is telling Brianna, I could pick you up off the ground. I could lift you. Remember, Brianna is tall. She's 5'9" or so. But Thaddeus is 6'5". He said, I can lift you up off the ground. She ran to him and he picked her up. And then Ariel came in there and Ariel was like, all I could see was legs and A. So she's joking, kind of like Thaddeus is her man. But he's still not anybody's man yet. We get confessional Thaddeus, who made a funny joke about Tyson's sign-up sheet. He said he's got a sheet up there for the ladies to sign to get their time. And he said we might as well just get him a little app. So I thought that was funny. Tyson, he does a lot. Idlewise gets her time with Tyson. That's the Spanish lady. She's bragging about her genes. She has great genes. You know, Tyson's out here telling these ladies that he may want to have one more child, even though his son is in his late 20s, y'all. He got a son that's like 27 years old. He's telling these ladies that he wants more children, I think, to kind of steer the older women away from him. And then I heard Felicia saying, well, he's 53 years old. And the other one was saying, well, yeah, but he dates like a younger man. He acts as if he's somebody in his 20s. He may act like that, but he is 53 years old. But I feel like Tyson's one of those men, he may not calm down or settle or anything until he gets to a point where he can't do certain things. So I think he may be the type that has that in him. So next we have the 3 ladies, and I'm sorry, I didn't write down the names. So I do apologize for that. I didn't write down the names, but we had a beautiful doctor from Atlanta. Beautiful doctor from Atlanta. We have a really pretty young lady from Seattle. And then we have an opera singer from Miami. And the ladies come in, they mingle, they introduce Holly Robinson Pete and also Rodney Pete, and the matchmaker introduced the ladies. The men have to kind of mingle and figure out which lady. Tyson sits down with Jennifer first. Jennifer has kind of Asian features. I forgot what she said her heritage was. And he asked her, "You have Asian in you?" She told him what could have been Korean. I'm not sure. I don't want to say. He gave his rundown, which we all know. Tyson he's Jamaican, of course, but he has a Chinese grandmother. You've been to Jamaica. If you've been in the corner stores and everything, there are Chinese people in Jamaica. They speak patois and everything. So that's where Tyson gets his eyes. He has a full Chinese grandmother, but he's Jamaican as well. A couple of other ethnicities he named. The young lady said what she was. He said, "I have an instant attraction," which of course he would. It's a pretty lady. So your split is doing something. Your tat is talking to me. He just really loved this lady's looks. So he complimented her. The next lady, Thaddeus was speaking with her. She's a beautiful lady. She is a pediatrician. And she has an appointment in the morning. So she was saying that she's going to have to leave. He liked that. They talked about what she's interested in. She is actually taking pole classes, pole dancing classes. So she had a lot of different things going on in Atlanta. And then the opera singer was beautiful. She had a unique look. She looked like Vanessa Williams to me. Excuse me. And I thought she looked like Vanessa Williams before Tyson brought it up. He was like, "Okay, baby, Vanessa Williams." I don't know if it was her green eyes or just something about her features. She reminded me of Vanessa Williams. It turned out that she knew an opera singer that is a friend of Tyson's. So I found that really interesting. This light, y'all, is making me warm. Let me turn my camera off. I'm going to start to sweat if I don't. One moment. So she knew they have a friend in common. They actually had a lot in common. They had a really great conversation. But I think Tyson, if a woman is of a certain age, and I'm going to say above 40, he doesn't really look at them as someone that he might be interested in. And then when they have they mingle with all the new ladies, they sit down to the dinner. While they were sharing the food, I think her name was Jennifer, the young lady from Seattle. Tyson had ordered lobster, and she was just kind of coveting everything they had, like, "Oh, tails." He was like, "I'll share my tail with you. You joking?" But she really wanted some shrimp. I feel like she asked Thaddeus, and he was like, "Oh, you want some shrimp?" Carlos ended up pushing his plate across to the young lady and letting her take the shrimp off of his plate. And the pediatrician was like, "Oh," she said, "that's very generous." I think the lady was just testing him to kind of see what she could get these guys to do for her. I think she was getting a kick out of all the men being interested in her looks. And she was a pretty young lady, but all of the ladies were beautiful. So I found that interesting. They bring out the dessert. And when they bring out the dessert ends up having a card in there. So in the card, the men then have to decide like which one of the ladies they think was matched specifically to them. Thaddeus decides to go first. And, I think Thaddeus is very thoughtful. He's very smart. He said, "I think that the doctor," I'm not going to try to say her name because, I didn't remember. I'm sorry. "I think the doctor is for me. She is a mother. She loves to help people. She has her career." And he felt like that she was for him. The answer's in there. Yes, she was perfectly match made to him. Tyson goes next. He said, "When I looked at Jennifer, it was he said love at first sight, y'all." I was so shocked to hear him say that. Jennifer, for some reason, starts to get teary-eyed. I felt that she was more attracted to Tyson than she was to the other two men. They just had a chemistry that I didn't see with her and the other two men. Carlos, he thought she was pretty, and his eyes were bugging out of his head, but it doesn't take much for Carlos to do that. So I thought that Jennifer really did have more of a connection with Tyson. He said, "I feel like it was almost love at first sight. My match, I believe, was Jennifer." So they look it up. His match actually is not Jennifer. Carlos actually is net last. And then he said, I believe that my match was Jennifer. They were familiar with the same church. They had connections to Seattle and also to Miami. We find out in this episode that Tyson and Carlos now live in Miami. I think Titus is in Tampa. Thaddeus is in Tampa. So it turns out Carlos is correct. Jennifer was actually picked for him as his match. So because Tyson chose wrong, the opera singer, he didn't identify her as his perfect match. She's not safe from being sent to the elimination dinner. All the ladies are going to go back to the house and be introduced to the original queens, first and second set. And the other interesting thing about that is when they get back to the house, all the ladies are nice. They're looking at everybody because the new ladies are beautiful too. And they are really complimenting Jennifer, the young lady from Seattle that Tyson thought was his match, but it was actually Carlos's match. Janay starts to get really upset, y'all. You know how when Carlos comes in at night, she want to sit down with her husband. They go over to the couch and sit down and Netflix and chill. He's like, who is this lady? Because she was acting, well, do you want to say anything? What's going on? I'd never seen Janay like this. I was sorry to see Janay so upset. But she was really upset. And Confessional Carlos tells us, I don't know who this person is. I don't want any parts of it. So y'all, for Janay to get all the way halfway through and then kind of turn Carlos off. And I can understand why he felt that way. But again, I've been warning Janay, don't settle in here like you're his wife or something. And he doesn't have to do anything to keep you, but just pull you in the corner and y'all Netflix and chill when he gets home off of all these dates. So Confessional Janay is telling the viewer that she's having a hard time. Anytime she would be dating someone, she would not be in the house with that person watching him dating all these other people. Y'all, this is the concept of the show. So I don't know what some of these ladies were thinking. So this was a pretty good episode. We did not get an elimination dinner. We saw Thaddeus walk the doctor to her car because she has a patient in the morning with an appointment. So I thought that was really interesting and she's from Atlanta. So they are right there in Atlanta. So he's going to walk her out. She's going to leave and go to her job. And the other ladies are still mixing, mingling, like I say, kind of like a sorority house. So this was a pretty good episode. We see a change in Tyson, but I didn't buy it, y'all. I didn't believe that Tyson was changing anything up at all. He did mention, I've been in this Playboy phase for a while, so I kind of want to get out of the George Clooney Playboy type thing. How old was George Clooney when Amal finally married him? I think 50 plus, and then they have the twins. So Tyson's right along in that age group. Like I said, some of the men, if they don't have to do that, they're not going to settle down and do that. So this is a pretty good episode. This was episode 4, Perfect Match. And this is just a slight recap. I like to go by each king and then kind of give a little summary of what happened and give my thoughts on everybody. So I was surprised at the very beginning. We lost Liliana, who's been an original queen. And also we lost Dr. Shawna, who was one of my favorite ladies. And also I thought she was an excellent match for Titus. But Thaddeus is doing something else. You know, he had another green fedora on this time. I think that fedora makes him kind of spicy. And he started acting like Carlos and Tyson. But it was a pretty good episode. And we are going to see the previews are going to show the ladies getting a little bit more catty toward each other and a little more competitive as things start to progress. So thank you all for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra during this live review and recap and opinion segment. And also, if you are Team Replay, thank you so much, Team Replay. And I hope everybody has a great beginning to your week and the rest of the week. And I'll see you in the YouTube streets. Actually, tomorrow, Ready to Love Philly is back. So I'm just going to give a little short review in the morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, pick up where we left off. So it's going to start episode 7, season 10, episode 7, Ready to Love Philly. And we're halfway through the season now, but they've taken a long hiatus. So it's been a couple months. We'll have to reintroduce everybody. So enjoy the rest of your night, everyone. Thank you so much. Goodbye.